Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Factorio. My voice is still a little croaky because I'm fully recovered from my cold last week, but we're not too bad. We're well enough to play. It looks like all the audio is coming through. Okay, cool. As per usual, a note on what was the most recent Friday facts. Obviously, in terms of the SpaceX series, there's actually two gone. So last week was Tesla turret. And this week is the research info tooltip and online players GUI, which was a very tame Friday facts. Let's be frank. I mean, it's great. It's nice to have some extra views, but it felt like two Friday facts they'd previously done. They've just added some GUIs to, which great, like it, but it was very thin. And there's no, that I could tell, there were no Easter eggs or little sneaky things in here either. Did kind of confirm that this square thing, this bit here, is a real thing, because we saw it on like previous Friday Facts and it looked like it had been slapped on to hide something, but it looks like that's something real. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Greetings. Hope you're doing well. What was the other thing? That was it, basically, and this appears to be the smoke that comes out when you chuck stuff in lava. So that was kind of it, really. It was bit of a nothing Friday Facts, if I'm honest, at this stage. Given there's only 10 weeks till the expansion comes out. Right, so if I pop that onto game, we have black screen. Why do I have black screen? Is it just catching up? There we go. There is the game. Cool. So, I had one job, which was to read the Informatron article on spaceships. I haven't done that. I haven't done anything on this at all. In fact, I've hardly played Factorio at all. As I say, I wasn't very well last week, and I kind of focused my energies on doing the combat videos, which are videos. It's not plural. There's only one, and it's nearly there. But I'm being fancy with it, so it's taking a while to do. Hopefully should be, I don't know, end of this weekend maybe, but probably sort of Wednesday or something. Put it up on Wednesday. The Friday Fact was short and sweet. Someone mentioned that there are 11 Friday Facts left before release, so we'll have 11 more quality Friday Facts to read. I hope it's not quite that bad. I think, is it 11? I thought it was 10, but I guess it depends on whether they'll do a proper one on the... Because, I mean, there's obviously got to be Friday Facts where they do a new trailer, hasn't there? You know, there's got to be a... Because they're going to do a new trailer, I would expect. So, there'll be one on that. Whether that's literally the one before, because it obviously comes out on a Monday, doesn't it? The expansion. So, you've got to assume that maybe the Friday Facts before is going to be just, here's the trailer sort of thing. Have fun on Monday. But yeah, it was a bit on the simple side. It's good, but well, I just literally said it. It felt a bit more like a sort of a additional feature to previous Friday Facts, rather than really being a new Friday Facts. Which we've had a few of those before, but I don't know. It was a little bit disappointing. I don't know. I think part of it might have been. I'm going to read this Informatron thing. Part of it might have been that I don't know that they weren't expecting the last one to be a bit more, bit bigger, if you see what I mean, a bit more, kind of. Let's get rid of some of these bits and pieces. More talked about and more, more of a thing, sort of thing. And I don't know, the last one felt... Well, I was really excited for it. I was, interested. And so I'm doing these videos or the video on the combat and stuff. But I don't know, the reaction seemed to be just sort of, new turret, great. I think part of the problem there is, if you don't know what the new enemies are, you don't know why this would be such a great turret, We've got enough turrets to kill enough biters as is. There's not a... need, in a sense, for a new turret without knowing there's new enemies, that you need them for, really. How are we doing? Bit more on the front. So I'm not entirely sure how to proceed with this, because obviously part of me wants to, stamp down my build everything. But getting, in fact, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, we have seen some copper right over there. Which, I mean, it's absolutely miles away. And without space trains, I don't know that I fancy doing like a 500-yard belt. 500 tile belt, basically, to get over there. Plus, we don't have coal, and we don't have oil, and what have you. So I'm not entirely sure it's kind of worthwhile doing my build. So what I could do, I mean, I'm happy to leave this platform here, and we'll stick some of the old meteorites on it and stuff like that, maybe. But what I might do is just sort of mine up this beryllium, because that's why we're here. And what I really need to do, I guess, is maybe see if I can use this ship to move it around. Because the other one is I could do the old shooty bang cannon things, which we could put on this platform. But yeah, it feels a little pointless trying to get that to work, because it is so dependent on having proper access to resources. And we could just leave it for the time being so that we can get a bit of Beryl, bit of Beryl, Beryllium, and do some sciences, and then maybe come back here when we can do space trains and stuff. It's currently what I'm feeling, but what I do want to do is read that whole thing. I do think the tooltip viewport is an incredibly nice feature, though. Almost every single time I get warning, I'd like to see what's going on. So it's perfect. Oh yeah, it's sort of a thing where it's like, it's a great feature. I really like it. Was it really? In fact, it's 3 great features. Don't know how much, if any, multiplayer you've done, but it's very useful to just be able to go straight to click on something, go straight to the other player, even just on Nalvis. Right now at the moment, because even if you're using chat rather than voice sort of thing, that if the player goes, what's going on here, or what were we planning on building here, or you're like, I don't know where you are, and I don't know what that area of the map is, and they can obviously use pings, and you can look on the map view, but just to be able to go click, right, what you're looking at, oh I see, it's just going to be a hugely nice little quality of life improvement, especially if you've got lots of people doing a multiplayer. But again, is it really a Friday Facts? I don't know. It's addition to an existing thing rather than a new feature, really. But yeah, I like them. It's a bit like the what's it called, the DisplayPort thing, where that was massive feature for people who've done the types of things that feature would be useful for. But if you're just looking at it as a relatively inexperienced or new, or just basic normal player, as it were, it feels just like, oh, it's nice, but it's not a massive thing. But I say, if you're into circuit networks and doing complicated things and mega basing and all these things, then it's going to be massive help. But it just feels it feels like a specialist thing for a specialist use case, rather than here's an entire planet. That's a very different Friday Facts, I think. Okay, spaceships are huge, powerful vehicles that can launch many contained structures, items and players into space, then rocket around the solar system to land on other surfaces. Excellent. Spaceships are made from many tiles and smaller components that fit together to make a spaceship of your own design. You design a spaceship almost like a mini movable base. Start with a floor plan of spaceship flooring, which we had. Cool. Don't build too big, as your first few spaceships will have strict size restrictions, expandable by research. Place spaceship... Right, it's extremely loud... radio outside. Place spaceship walls around the edges to make bulkheads, and make sure there are no gaps, including diagonals. Place a spaceship console somewhere in the inside. This is the core part of the spaceship and how you control it. Okay, when the console is placed, there are some pulses as the console figures out what parts are properly attached, what parts are properly contained, and what will fall off if you try to launch. If any squares flash red, then there is an issue with your design, which you can diagnose by checking the spaceship console. You also need a spaceship rocket booster tank and a spaceship rocket engine. The booster tank is what stores the fuel you need to get into space and provides the VTOL component. Oh, we got a coronal mass ejection, eh? Lovely. Basic VTOL component. The rocket engines are for the slower burn through space to get you to your destination. Some form of defence in the front, always north, is always also advisable, because the nebula you are in is full of debris. Integrity stress. Early on, you'll be very limited on spaceship size by the integrity stress limits of your technology level. Additional technology lets you build larger spaceships. Integrity stress is calculated in 2 parts. I don't think I really need to know this bit because I can't actually build new spaceships, but Part A, hull stress mainly based on the size and shape of the ship. Part B, container stress based on the item and fluid storage capacity of the ship. Okay. Total integrity stress is whichever stress factor is larger. The two values are not added together. If your structure stress is 250 and your constraint stress is 280, the integrity stress will be 280. The hull stress bar shows 3 values. The first is the current discount. In fact, let's go over there and actually look at some of this stuff. So first off, it looks like we can interact with the console, which I didn't do last time. Oh yeah, it also blocks you. You can't fly into it, which I suppose makes sense, but that was a bit confusing. I used to accidentally do that. Whoops. I've drifted off the surface. Yes, very good. Yes, I hit this mechanic. Okay, so, how do I interact with it then? Can I just click on it? I can. So this is the integrity bit. Okay. It works that out based on the number of floor bits, the number of wall bits, and the number of tiles. Okay. Container stress. Buffer chest with 384 slots, and spaceship ion booster tank, which is the fuel. 40k units plus 10. So of those two, that one is the bigger number, and so that one is our actual stress, but it's below what is 300, which appears to be our limit, I assume, based on the research, etc. Okay, so we do integrity check. That's it doing the pulses, and it's, excuse me, all happy. Okay. Right, so where did we get to? So that was the integrity stress. The hull stress bar shows 3 values. First, the current discounted hull stress based on empty spaceship tiles. Up to 10% of a ship's size does not count towards integrity stress if it is empty spaceship tiles. This clear space is discounted in the stress calculation and is useful for corridors. The second value is the hull stress with no discount and is useful to estimate the ship stress value you would have if you fill the interior with structures. Third value is the max stress your tech level will allow. Is that... So that's... Where is that then? So that's the... hull stress bar. So is that the hull stress bar? Or is that just some quick and easy display? Oh, is that a separate thing? Oh, okay. Okay. So that's a separate part to it, okay. Okay. What am I doing? One button. Exceptionally long thin ships, or ships with very thin sections in the middle, are less sturdy than more rotund designs. Wide ships are sturdy but must clear more asteroids. Some structures have special effects on the ship integrity or speed, such as the Nexus. This feels very much like how Space Age is going to work, doesn't it? Streamlining. This area of space is in a gritty nebula. If you streamline your spaceship, you can improve your spaceship's maximum speed by around 30%. Making a flat box around front should be avoided, but don't need to be... But they don't need to be... But you don't need to build a wedge. Up to a third of your spaceship's front can be flat with no penalty. Circular shapes should also be fine. You can manually trigger any trigger chip to see how the streamlining is going. Okay. The idea of streamlining a ship in space seems a bit counterintuitive, but there you go. Speed. Ship speed is based on the thrust of the engines versus the ship weight, approximated by integrity stress. Engines can be placed in and on the ship, but engines at the back of the ship with empty space behind are most effective. Fully enclosed engines are 60% effective. Engines at the side edge of the ship also have a slight advantage. Okay, so stick your engines on the back. You can set a target speed for the ship to aim for. If the ship exceeds the target speed, then it will start disabling engines to more closely match the target speed and save fuel. There are 3 speed limit options, so you can further reduce the speed for high asteroid areas that might otherwise overwhelm your defences. Long-haul activities. When considering long-haul travel, it is worth noting that you can do a lot in satellite mode while your body is in transit. You can also give orders to spaceships remotely via the satellite uplink. Okay, so we can do remote build and stuff while we're moving on a ship. Interesting. I'm wondering if that's how Space Age is going to work as well, because it's one of the things I don't know with... hello, Night Raven, how you doing? With, you know, is it going to take an hour to travel between... Because, you know, we got this Gleba science pack with its, you know, spoilage of like 2 hours. Or 2 hours only becomes a threat if it takes 2 hours to get to a planet, you know. You would think some streamlining wouldn't matter since there isn't air-resistant space. Yeah, I mean... Exactly. Just a great big Borg cube should be, you know, perfect, basically. Right, crafting machines. Warning, a crafting machine designed for space will only be able to use recipes shared by other land structures if the spaceship is on land. So you can land spaceships. Okay. If a space... Now, that would need streamlining if you're just lumping it down into your... Or, you know, thumping it down into your atmosphere. So that would be a better reason for streamlining. If a space-based recipe is set while the spaceship lands, the ingredients will be lost. Okay, so if it moves into atmosphere, then whatever it was working on is just knackered, basically. Some land-based crafting machines can function in space, but they will lose the ability to use productivity modules while in space. If the spaceship launches with productivity modules in these machines, productivity modules are destroyed. Wow, that's harsh. Spaceship signals. The top right section of the spaceship console can be connected with wires separately from the main structure as it outputs its own signals. Oh, these are the other ones then. The console number indicates the spaceship ID. Okay, so these ones are separate. So this is spaceship 1, basically. Okay. Where was that bit? The speed signal number indicates the ship's speed. -1 if stopped, -2 if anchored. So are we anchored at the moment? We are anchored, okay. Okay. So that's just giving me a speed signal. Right, fine. What else have we got? This one, distance signal, the distance signal indicates the distance to the selected destination. -1 if arrived, -2 if anchored, -3 if no destination is set. False signal indicates the current destination, if any. Okay, so this is the... Oh, I remember this. I saw this on the stream somewhere, that it gives numbers to all the planets. So it doesn't actually... Yeah, you have to know what the number is. You know, you can't put Nalvist. You know, you've got to put a number in, basically. Okay. Certain parts of space have more or less asteroids than a ship will encounter. Density of asteroids where the ship is currently positioned is indicated with the D signal. If the spaceship is anchored, then it indicates the anchored zone ID with the signal A. Okay. So we are at 803. Okay. So it can just anchor anywhere then? That's a bit weird. Because I don't have docking clamps. So is that not a thing? I guess not. Because that's a bit I'm not quite getting. How do we send it to a specific place then? Spaceship automation. The main structure of the console can accept signal inputs on the left side. Alright, so this is separate. Okay. On the left side. The speed signal sets a target speed and engages the engines. A negative signal stops the engines instead. Positive spaceship launch signal triggers a launch. Destination signal sets the destination. You can see a zone signal from the Universe Explorer side panel once you have constructed a spaceship. See a zone signal. Both the destination signal type, planet or asteroid, and the signal's value ID must match for the destination to be set. Okay, note a spaceship console will not accept whatever that symbol is, launch or speed inputs until a player has manually launched and engaged the ship at least once. This is to prevent blueprinted spaceships from accidentally launching while still in the middle of being built by bots. Note the console only checks for changes to the signal input every second. A sustained signal is required for the ship to react. Signal tick pulses will not work, okay? Circuit signal pass-through. Spaceship clamps have a power and circuit network connection point on their upper corner. Spaceship clamps. See, I don't know whether I picked those up or there just aren't any. Because I can't make them, I don't think. How would it be best to check that if I do? Because we just call them clamp, maybe? Yeah, no, we can't make clamps. I wonder if... Can we do clamps or something? Okay, here we go, you see. So I can't make them for ages. I've got loads of text before I can make them. Okay. But I think back on old, on now this, and I think I pulled them up is the problem. I go view surface a little bit. So we had, oh no, here we go. Oh well, these aren't the clamps though, are they? This is just some fancy structure that's been done, to look like a docking thing. So do I have anything in the... How would I get that out? If I can't really interrogate what's in the system as such. Wasn't one of these connected already to that? Here we go. Login network content. Okay. So if I do which would be the best one? Because we'll just put a decider combinator. So I don't know where the clamp is at. Okay, yeah, so there we go. Yeah, that's great, that's 0 output. If I get it to output again. Oh. What's it? Okay, so it's not outputting anything, so we don't have any of those. Okay, that's fine. Clampy, 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 clampy. Spaceship clamps have a power and circuit network connection point in the upper corner. When clamps are connected during automatic landing, the power and circuit network signals are joined, allowing for power and circuit signals to be passed between the ships and the landing location. To cause the spaceship to land, the console must be given a pair of anchor signals, either anchor using left clamp with anchor to right clamp, anchor using right clamp with anchor to left clamp. The value of the anchor using signal must match the value of the clamp of the ship. The value of the anchor to signal must match the value of a clamp at the destination. You can see they change these set values on clamps by opening the clamps UI. Obviously I can't do that because I haven't got a clamp. If a match is found for both the anchor using and anchor to signals given to the ship console, then the ship will try to land with the two clamps connected. Use with caution. I guess it will just crash into stuff then. Clamps. To set the UID of a clamp, open the clamp GUI and change the numeric value of the clamp signal to the UID. you wish for the clamp to have. You never need to change the type of the clamp signal. Disable an anchor clamp by passing it a red signal. Landing example. The spaceship has a left clamp with ID 315. In that clamp's GUI, the signal is left with a value of 315. The landing surface has a right clamp with ID 147. In that clamp's GUI, the signal is right with a value of 147. In order to get the spaceship to land using these two clamps, the left side of the ship console must be past the following signal. So what I've got on board connect to what it is at the station. Wowzer. Okay. So if I'm to get this to go anywhere, it doesn't have clamps. I'm not being mad. This is not. No, they're there and I just can't see them. There is no clamp on this. Cool. It does have stuff on it though. Quite a lot of stuff. Spaceship. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the clamps. Okay, so we do have clamps. Right. We've got a Tesla gun as well. Okay. And what's these little bits and pieces? Okay. There's quite a lot here, isn't there? Balkanite. I don't know if there's like what you're meant to set this stuff up to do. Got even more sciencey bits as well, which is nice. And a lab, okay. You see, what I'm wondering is, can I just send it, manually in some way? If I just set this and hit the launch, will that all be fine? I'm assuming it will, and you can just fly them, but I don't know where I would set the destination to. Because if I set it to Alvis orbit, are we going to be absolutely because I think that's just, random effectively. There's no clamps there, so I can't really assume it's going to go to the appropriate place. It also, as we know, has a 3¼ hour travel time. Which was the other problem, which was why I was going to mess about with this between streams, because I could just set it going and, leave it. See what happens, see if it crashed or what have you. Okay. So in theory, if I... Where did those clamps go? Had this on here somewhere. So I don't know which... I assume that's the right way around, is it? No. 2 tiles at clamp cannot be empty space. Okay, so I would need to put an actual... 2 tiles can be empty space, okay. We would need an actual thing now. So, what conclusion am I coming to? I think I'm coming to the conclusion that we kind of need to leave it. Oh, I can't fly inside. Kind of need to leave this because if I head off on this... Oh, crashing into the spaceship then. If I head off on this... You see, the other one has the advantage, weirdly, that it's instantaneous, which is weird. So what I'm thinking is that we need to just set up, because we could play this entire session remotely while I travel back, but I suspect we'd get into a bit of a jam really. So what I'm thinking is basically we set up some kind of thing. Now what I don't know, I don't really need that, do I? I need the other one. I don't know. What don't I know? I don't know. Because it won't let me... Let's just think. Because have I got a thingy on me? Because I know I could potentially just emergency burn back. Oh, there's a debris. I think. Yeah, I can do emergency burn back. But of course we have this problem that you lose stuff, but then everything I brought, I don't mind leaving here. And it does knacker the capsule, but I've got literally hundreds of them. So yeah, we can always get back using that, and that's instantaneous, you see. Okay. What is that? Just a bit of rubbish. Okay. Now, the other question then is, can I set up... In fact, let's do it via the plugin. A moth just flown down. Silly thing. Yeah, so if I get... Oh, crikey. What have I just done there? Don't really need any of them, do I? Because I say, I can just set up a little bit of, you know, mini production, basically. Take them down. Well, because I don't know. Yeah, so what I do want is these delivery cannons. Because I don't know what I can fire across, and I don't really know how to make beryllium, you see. So we want beryllium plate, I think. I think that's the tech that we're really after. Is that right? Because we are after a science pack. Have I done the... I must have done the research for the science pack. There it is. This one, isn't it? Except I don't need beryllium. I need iridium. Okay. Is that right? Called, sorry, material insight. Which is that one then? Because you've got the bright, that one there. What should we need? Significant data. Can I get that? Okay. Ingredients. So that produces the significant data. It's the material insight that we need. A different signal, that's what's confusing me. That symbol. That needs material catalogue. And that's all sorts of stuff. Tesla strength date. Okay. So it's these, basically. Plasma streams. Iridium. So it doesn't appear to use. Goes to material testing pack. We can actually even make on now this, because it's nothing special at all. Okay. What else does it need? Material insight, iridium plate. So it's all iridium based, that. It's not really beryllium based. So this is me getting ahead of the curve, really. Even though I'm also way, way, way behind the curve. But I think this is the other one we need, isn't it? Because I'm trying to head for this thing here, space elevator. So it's this astronomic science pack, and that needs beryllium. Okay, but it needs beryllium plate. Right. Astronomic catalogue and etc. So that's that one. Which is that one? Which are these? And these are all made from visible observation frames. Okay. Observation frames. So we would assume that they're made in a, yeah, observatory of some description. What do they actually take in then? Observation frames. Now it looks like I've done that research. Observation blank. So they need this blank one, which can be made with steel or beryllium. Okay. Okay, but it looks like it's the plate that I'm needing. I'm not seeing anything that isn't plate based. Which means ingots, which we can make in an industrial furnace. Interesting. Wow, it's a bigger tank. Here you go. This is the type of thing, this exact use case, where it'd be like, I want to be able to see what's going on there, because it's gone now. Why did we get this massive influx of attacks, basically? I've got to now click around and go, view surface, and now I can click on it and see what's going on. Okay. Oh dear, getting lots of pollution there. Looks like they're not going to be very happy. I think that's all colonisation anyway, isn't it? Let's have a go then. Hop. Hop, hop, hop. As well. And maybe you as well, just as a little treat. I hit the wrong button. Now this new surface. Okay. Do them as well. Did we get you? I think we'll just make sure. They're probably new. Anyone else having a bit of fun with pollution? They're producing a lot of pollution, aren't they? No wonder they're mad. Or is it properly hitting that as well? It's ages since I expanded this. I was reading somewhere that apparently the resource richness thing doesn't quite work in this. Basically it doesn't really get richer, which is why it explains a lot of my puzzlement as to why when I was going out patches were all still pretty. And it's deliberate, and I guess that's to get you to push out and, you know, use planet resources basically. Okay, we'll get you. And you, oops. Trouble. It's favouring worms a bit. No, interesting. But yeah, so it's kind of deliberate that your resources are a bit rubbish on that. It is annoying though. It means I should be exploiting some of the planets, I think, because of how big I've built this. Shipping it back maybe. Oh crikey. That'll take a bit of clearing. Let's just take these ones out instead then. So this remote view thing is awesome though, I would say. If we get any kind of similar sort of functionality in Space Age, that's going to be really fun to play with. It's really heavy on the worms for some reason. Beams. Beams. Yeah. That's all fine. That's all good. What about up here? Oh, yeah, got some guys who are probably a little bit annoyed there. Oh. They're gone. Oh. They've been popped. Or am I in the wrong bit of the map? Oh yeah, way down there. What's happened there? Yeah, guess I pressed the wrong button again. You. I never mined that uranium patch, did I? A little low then. Oh, hello. Sorry, I was getting carried away. Despite it sound sure are uncomfortable. We're saying at the brevity of this week's Friday Facts. Hello, Baker Magician. Sorry, I didn't say hello. Hope you're doing okay. I keep trying to think of Aquillo's mechanics, but I cannot summon any ideas. Whatever it is, it's clearly tameable and scalable enough to reasonably attempt 1 million sites per minute. Do we think he was serious about that then? I really don't know whether that was, you know, just I don't know, a troll, but you know, a joke sort of thing rather than, you know. I don't know. It just seems so far over and above what we can currently do, you know. I mean, even the Factorio thing, that was like 4 million, and that was just insane, you know, what they were doing. So I don't know. A strong part of me thinks that's maybe a bit of a troll, that one. The other question here. Oh, it requires big ones, does it? Wow, okay. But it doesn't look like it needs fluid. Because the other thing I was a bit worried about is actually... I can't actually mine this because I, you know, might need sulfuric acid or something. Okay, so we can mine it. So what we need to do is stick it into some of these guys. And what I don't know is, can I just fire the... Oh, I can fire anything. Right. I'm guessing the ingots would be the most efficient. Jury cannon Beryl recipe. Okay. Capsule. Because that only takes 50. And then that one's 100, 100, 100. So if that's only taking 50, what are the sort of ratios in it? 'Cause I don't know that. I mean, I could do, I guess. How many panels did it actually bring? We've got 50 there. Let's see if we just ramp it up to something silly. How many have we actually got? Got lots. Okay. So we could make a little production facility here, I think. I feel he was serious when they showed that tiny green chips build was 85 blue belts. Like, that's a whole mountain of production. 50% prod stacked on multiple layers of production chains adds up. Exponents are powerful. I'm sure as a coder you're aware of that. Yeah. My host science per minute was 240, so I wouldn't know if the 1 million science was serious, but I never got the impression he was not. So yeah, he sounds like a serious type of person, doesn't he? He sounds like he jokes too much really. But yeah, I mean, it just more. I didn't mean though. Whether it's like a realistic and achievable goal, I guess, is the difference between. I guess it's whether it's an a sensible ambition, if you see what I mean, or just pie in the sky dreams, you know. Because I mean, 1 million is just mad, you know. It's just an incredible amount of production. And I get we got machines that make some of this realistic, but if you do the maths on it, it is literally, you know. Well, if you think about, you know, a really good megabase that I wouldn't be able to build, you know, is 10,000 science. Why are we now full of other rubbish? What am I doing here? It's like, you know. So, well, as you say, exponents as well, you know. 1 million is a heck of a lot bigger than 10,000, you know. So, can I do the maths in my head? So, it'd be 100,000. So, 10 megabases at 10,000 would be 100,000. And then 100 megabases at 10,000 is 1 million. Do you know what I mean? That is just mind-blowing how big that number would be. You know, how do you even move that? Somebody left a really good comment on one of my earlier videos, actually, that we don't, although we're getting all these improvements to trains, we're not getting like a mega train. You know, we don't appear to have any kind of, right, well, this is, you know, a super duper amazing big train, if you see what I mean. So how are we moving all this stuff around? You know, because we can move it between planets and platforms, okay, and maybe they're big trains, but because it's like to do 1 million science a minute. Obviously, you get prod mod. You know, you can count prod properly now in labs. But even if it's 50% production, that's 500,000 science packs a minute, and we know that you can only make them on the planet. So you've got to deliver 500,000 science packs from each planet, and move them about in such a way that you can stick them in the labs. It's just mad, you know. It's just like off the charts numbers. I did basic maths on EMP. With maxed out productivity, making a module level 3 basic quality is 94% cheaper. Macaroni. If 10k science per minute now is the point of breaking computers, we did 100 times as much more. But EMPs and foundries can be stacked and are stupid strong. Prod is powerful. Yeah, wagons holding 40 slots isn't going to cut it anymore. Maybe quality increases. Sorry, missed that. Increases the slot sizes, so we'd get 100 slots. That'd still not keep up with our new production capabilities. I'm still thinking one of the latest game items will be a teleporter, or 2 teleporters, a personal one for ease of interstellar travel, and an item one. Expensive as hell, but can ship a mountain of resources near instantly. I mean, maybe, you know, I mean, that would make things a lot easier. I have a suspicion not, though, simply be more from a point of view of it make it too easy, you know? It's like you're giving... If they're giving us a lot of challenge, as it were, then, you know, giving us too many cheats is probably not how they'll go, if that makes sense. So, just trying to... can it build on empty space? Good old empty space. I know them well. So what I really want to do is kind of get rid of that. Just trying to build a bit of a solar field, see how much one entities are destroyed. I guess you see, there you go. The perfect use case keeps coming up for this thing, because I don't really know what that means. Is that something's crash landed on, you know, a meteorite's hit one of my planets, or what's happened? 'Tis a mystery. Yeah, Aquila. I don't know. I really don't know. You know, I was very much in the camp of it being heat. You know, some kind of heat-based mechanic. But the more I sort of think about it, it's like, what's that really doing? That's particularly. I think really the thing that's thrown me was that, you know, was it Cloner's comment or Kovix's about it being, you know, the most unique mechanic. Obviously that's a personal judgment, isn't it? But I don't know. Does sticking heat pipes on everything feel like the most unique mechanic? Don't know. Maybe. But it just feels like... Also, as I say, I don't really know what having to route heat pipes around really is... You know, is that particularly interesting to do? It's like we're saying, you basically just... Surely you just end up, if you have to do that, with... Let's see if I can fake it. I think I got rid of the things. But if you imagine that's a... Oh, I can't build it anyway. Why have I got chemical plants if I can't build them? I don't got anything I build with, have I? But yeah, if you just stick on... whatchamacallits around it, you know. So if you just build one of them, and if you've got to do a heat pipe on it or something like that, just have it run along, and then you just use long-handeds to put everything in. It's not, you know... How different is that to what we normally do? It doesn't feel like enough, if you see what I mean. You know, it could be there as well. It could be something else that makes it, you know, even more interesting. But on its own, it doesn't feel like that's quite enough. And I say that's kind of what I've been assuming it would be, but I don't know. I'm doubting myself now. Lots of train improvements revealed, but nothing about their storage capacity. As you mentioned, Baker Magician, even assuming legendary cargo wagons does not seem to scale that much. We know also, obviously, I know they mentioned about... This was the thing that threw me with the Million Science, if I'm honest, because we know we're getting a cargo hub, you know, and we can only put one of those per planet. Implication was it could have bots in it, you know, that you could build, you know, that it could be part of a logistics system. But that was only an implication. It didn't really say that. But at most, that means, you know, that is the scale of your output. Because it's not far off this sort of size. And what have I got there? I've got 36 belts. That's 36 inserters. Now, they can be bulk inserters. Oh, sorry, they can be stack inserters now. And they can be putting on belts, and they could be feeding into logistics chest, I guess. And you could absolutely drown it in, you know, logistics things. I mean, the other option would be obviously double layering, you know, long-handeds maybe, give you more output options. But if it is this sort of size, is that level? Because you're going to have to import 5 science packs, is it? Wherever you do it, you know. And this is one of the things, you know, people saying, well, why don't you put your science on Gleba to, you know, account for, you know, spoilage as a, you know, thing to work, is the thing to work against, as it were. But we don't know that you can make purple and, you know, gold science packs anywhere else other than Alvis. Assumption is you can, but we don't know you can. So if you're then moving off of Gleba, or you're moving your science onto Gleba, I should say, then that means you've got even more science packs to import, presumably, or possibly. You know, and if you're trying to import, you know, as I say, let's say 500,000, it just the logistical challenge of doing 1 million science is nuts. You know, I put that there, and then it's exactly in the way again, isn't it? Let's just keep going. I should be building the flat panels, but I was doing it heavily. I don't think. No, I don't need it. Okay, so we emptied that. We emptied that. Really? Nowhere near. Okay. How about then we move all this up? They're kind of messing about, aren't they? 'Cause I'm chatting. Yeah, how are we transporting 85 blue belts or green chips anyway, reasonably, other than belts? Yeah. It is. Oh, we have got some of them. In fact, I got loads. Okay. So it looks like. In fact, why have I got these chemical ones? And oil reflows. I guess that's because that's what that build is, isn't it? It's got them on it. Okay. I think you're going to put your fancy solar panels at this end. I'm just really interested more in how much, because they're big, you see, how much power can I actually get just on this platform that I built, basically. Because it would be quite nice to set up a bit of production here, I think. If we can. I mean, I don't know that we can, but let's have a see. In fact, if we make... let's make a gap. Just get down to Funky Town. Oh, I can walk over them anyway, can't I? Why am I bothering about that then? Let's just... I'm going to have to apologise. My brain is not really working today. I'm still not really covered from this cold, if I'm totally 100% honest. But we'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do. Also, if I'm totally honest, I think I am reaching a point. I don't know about burnout with this. It's not quite the same thing, but it's definitely a point where it's getting so complicated. And things like reading that... Oh, spaceship thing out. It's like, I don't know that I really understood what that was on about, to be honest with you. And it really feels more like a messing about. For me, you know, it's one of the ways I learn, basically, is just messing about with stuff. I don't think that's really good. It's not easy for me to stream that sort of stuff. You know, it's okay when... You know, it's relatively simple, but some of this stuff is getting quite complicated. I'd rather kind of go away and learn it, as it were, and then we come back and, you know, I can build the things, as it were, understanding how it works. So it's one of the trickier parts of this game in particular, where it's got quite complicated stuff in it, and I'm only really able to kind of stream the game a lot because I've just got thousands of hours in it, so I kind of know how everything works. But this is getting into the territory, as I say, of being very far removed from like the normal production thing. So we have 45.5 megawatts. Okay, so how much power do you take? You're quite heavy, aren't you? I'm really just thinking we make one of these, you see. And we have maybe along here. And like the whole setup is just, you know, one of these basically. Firing away. Excuse me, lobbing the things in. Because the other problem I have is I can't make the capsules, I don't think. And of course we can't launch them. Libra is one of the worst planets for your labs. Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I missed all of that. Lever's oil patches are tiny. You can't sustain anything with those piddly oil patches. You're not making science with them. I was like, wait. Say your agri science packs are 50% spoiled when you reach your labs on Nalvis. You need to pay the tax on agri science packs twice, basically. Yeah, so that's another thing. If you're moving them around, you know, and you know, they half spoil by the time you use them. You've actually got to produce twice as many. If the 1 million science per minute is true, obviously it's doable, and it can't be more annoying than going through large code bases over and over again, trying to figure out how an API works because the documentation is rubbish. Yeah, I mean, aside, I don't think he's done a 1 million science a minute. I don't think this is where I'm wondering if it's just like a notional aspiration. You know, it's not really that he knows that a million science is possible. It's more that it's like that's the, you know, dream goal, as it were, that he's got. Does that make sense? So it's not really that actually, yes, this is a doable thing. The other thing I'm kind of wondering is maybe I could set up some kind of mini thing here, where actually I don't really, because I'm going to have to put robo ports on this as well. You're quite far away, because we need to make sure we've got some coverage for when meteorites do get through. But yeah, it's sort of like, it's just an aspiration basically, you know, and he doesn't know that it's doable. It's like he'd love to just build, it's his desire to build a base that is 1 million science a minute or something. That's more what it's about. Rather than having actually ever got even close, as it were. So, did I bring... I must have brought thingies. What they call these things? Your satellites and your receivers and stuff. Can't see them listed. Got one of them. Don't want 20 of them. Yeah, we have got that. Okay. Because what I'm thinking is maybe I could just have all of the capsules launch into here. And so we, you know, all the bits and pieces, and then I could just make capsules here. So I need copper wire. I don't think I can launch copper wire. So we'd have to have one making copper wire. But we could launch copper plate. Pretty sure we can do explosives and low density structure. And then they just feed in, basically. That style. And then I don't have to set up any production for them. That's what I am wondering. Maybe. You see, we're already using up all that power. Okay. Let's see what the power demand is just for it all to be passive, basically. So, if I want to make beryllium plate, then what do I make them in? It's not telling me. Okay. Is it one of these? Yes. Okay. But then it's casting machines. Can I place them on? I can. Okay. So if I wanted to make them, and then that's making... Except it can't. Huh. What do you make them in then? Okay. They're made in furnaces. I thought these were made in casting machines. They are. Okay. Fine. Fine. Cannot build on space platform. Okay. Thermodynamics and its facility. I don't think I can make them. I could if I had the bits and pieces. Okay. Well, I don't think I've got... Don't imagine I've got any of them with me. In fact, I don't even think they're on there. They're not on the list, so they're not coming in. Have we got any of them? No. Okay. So... So if you were to make... Oh, can you make them? You might. I might need one of the big boys. Yeah, looks like it's a big boy only one. Got some of them though, or at least one anyway. So if you're going to make that facility, rather, get your tongue in gear. So we don't have low density structures in steel. Wonderful. What was I saying about the Cleaver thing, about the planet? But if you export the 7 other science packs to Cleaver instead, you're paying the tax to ship via rockets 7 times instead of 2. Yes, plus as I say, you've only got the one hub, so you've got to take even more stuff out, you know. And we don't know anything about this enemy. My suspicion is that the big deterrent for just, you know, making Cleaver your home planet is this big stomping enemy. And that basically it's almost impossible to kill unless you maybe eventually get nukes or something like that. And so if you build all of your stuff there, you run the real risk of it just stomps through all of your base and just wrecks absolutely everything. Gleba is one of the worst places for your labs. I was thinking about your point about the landing pads. You can only stuff so many inserters around it, limiting throughput. But then I remembered they have several screenshots with those cargo bay extensions on the planet's surface. Yeah, so that's a good point actually. So yeah, can you extend it essentially? So can I put those cargo things on and then I can move inserters off? Because this was the thing, that was actually the thing that puzzled me about them, and that therefore you get more surface area. Yeah, that could be a workaround with it. But when we saw them, unless I'm just blanking it out, they didn't seem to have you know, those things on them, as it were. So they didn't seem to have. Just going to set up a temporary thing, I guess, aren't I? So if I want, or can I just do it manually, maybe? Because I want a few of these. What do I want ordering? I want ordering steel, which is insane. I don't. How have we not got steel here? Can I fire... Or can I send a rocket here with steel? Do I have a rocket on now, this? This is the problem with this. And it's not a problem. This is the wrinkle with this mod, basically. Because everything is enormous scale. So it's like, you get to a place and you realise, now I need loads of steel. Okay. So do I try and produce it locally? Okay, well I need a special machine. How do I even make that machine? Or do I send it here? Okay, if I send it here, I'm using the horribly inefficient shooty things. Right, so that's, you know, slow and expensive. Or I'm sending a rocket, and a rocket takes 1,000,000 years to fill, basically. How can we not have steel here? Right, so we're in the asteroid belt, aren't we? So, can I search that? No, I can't search that way. Why is it not? Canada's asteroid belt. Okay. And we do it here. And we just get it to fire a bunch of stuff over. It won't be launching though, will it? Because I need to set that up. It's always the way with these games as well that, like, the more you play them, you know, the more familiar you are, so you avoid a lot of the mistakes you made. Okay. How is there no steel here? But we were drowning in this stuff, weren't we? Steel. Oh, there's no steel at all. Oh! That looks like that because we've got some problem. Yeah. What's happened there? What are you trying to do? You're trying to leave. And you can't because that's overlapped onto the edge. Brilliant, brilliant, that's good. So we need to move that signal down. I've not adapted that to be a short train one, have I? And there you go, you see. Just little shortcuts and tiny little problem things. Then your entire steel production just seizes up. And you're on another planet, so you've got to mess about with stuff. Okay. Well, there we go. We've got steel now. Right, you need to be... I need to click that button. So, Canada's asteroid belt, we have it set. We want to set it to on. Do I need to give you a signal or anything? Or do I just need you to work? So, if I just set this to fish equals fish. Just get it to fire a bunch of steel at us. And then we'll do the same with this one. What did we need? It was heat shields, I think, wasn't it? And you want to go to asteroid belt. And you want to come here as well. I just want... I can't lob them straight in anyway, can I? That's the point. I can't. I've got to unpack them. Because of course I do. Because nothing's ever simple. Right, so I want to go back there. And having drop downs and stuff, there's going to be so many things that... I don't know, because I know... or I believe Erendor has mentioned about kind of not wanting to, not being sure about kind of converting this to you know, to just do fish equals fish again. To work with space age, because it limits the player base, basically. But it's like, it's going to benefit so much from even just the version 2.0 stuff. Let's set that on. Are you bringing them in? You're not bringing them in. Why not? Because brokenness? Because brokenness, probably. Are we bringing heat shields in? Might well not actually be bringing them in. Am I making them? So I'm launching them now. So it's getting them from somewhere. Is somewhere making heat shields or dropping them off and I just didn't spot it. Ah, there we are. Yeah, there are heat shields. There are just none delivered because you're waiting at load. Marvellous. Absolutely nothing going on there, is there? Wow. What are you waiting for? Sulfur? Okay. Is that because your train just got stuck somewhere? Heading to unload. Yes, you're just trapped in my beautifully horrible train system. Excellent. Oh, hello, Lactus Incarnate. Hope you're well. Welcome to the streaming. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away on this rather than looking at chat, so I'm kind of ignoring you. Major Energy couldn't put the cargo bays on planet surfaces. In fact, that was one of the things I thought actually, because I thought I'd seen them saying that you just had the thing, and then they were on there and nobody said anything. No one was like, "Oh my god, you can put them on surfaces," and I was like, okay, so maybe that wasn't a thing then. But I thought they'd said you couldn't put them on there. But as their production capability soared to the heavens, they needed another way to get around the one pad per surface restriction. Yeah, this is what I thought. Yeah, same here. I'm thinking like, watching you play this mod makes me glad we'll be sticking with 5 planets. I don't want to manage 50 bases. I'm happy to have 5 planets where I can have a bunch of mini factories. If you're going to launch metals with the cannons, you're better off launching ingots because of stack sizes. Okay. Capsule carrying steel ingots instead of plates will transfer 5 times the steel. Okay. Ingots travel 5 times the steel. Oh, I don't really have steel ingots in the system though, is the problem. I could do it the other way. So does that then... Would it be better sending beryllium, I guess, is the question then. A beryllium oh, I see. Beryllium ingot makes 10 plates. And of course that's just one. And you can stack them to 100 in the things. So yeah, a bit better off sending them then. So I don't have steel ingots, I don't think, in the system. These are iron ones, I think, are they? Are those steel? Yeah, those are iron ingots, not steel ones. So I'd have to set all of that up. How are we doing? Are you not launching stuff for me? You're not doing anything. Why are you not doing anything? You still don't have heat shields. Hit the wrong button again. Honestly. Right, so that production was over here somewhere. Okay, so it's working-ish now. We've still got old school regular fast inserters, which is not great. We are at least making some heat shields. Are you filling up? You're filling up. But which unload are you going to? That one's already got one. So I'm guessing you will come to the main base. Because we only got 2 unloads. Got a train waiting as well. Interesting. Okay, so that's just a time thing, really. Right, so guess we need to think about sending ingots then. How much steel? Oh, I've got loads of steel. We can kill that off. So cool. And then if there is ever any, in fact, actually, I can just stick that in, can't I? Because it disappears the capsules. So yeah, we need low density structures. Oh no, we need low density structures. We don't need. Where have I got those heat shields from then? I guess I must have brought some? I don't see how we've got enough heat shields, but we've got enough heat shields. Interesting. Okay, how about we convert that other one then to low density structures. So we need to change the recipe to that. And then we need to change this to there they are. Okay. Put them in. Oh, it's not a filter thing though, is it? But then the recipe is going to control it. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Still no heat shields. Yeah, it's like that for all the ingots, okay. It's crazy how spoilers work. Like, we know so little about the full expansion, but can infer a lot from only a little info. Having sulfuric acid geysers on Volcanus means you're going to want the acid in high volume, similar to oil and Nauvis. But why? It seems to be how you make steam, and you can export it to Nauvis to help mine uranium. But that can't be the only reason, can it? You don't need steam if you use solar power, and Nauvis never really needed enough uranium to need imports. So that's like 2 half reasons at best. Surely sulfuric acid. Yeah, I think there's also a thematic thing with that, isn't there? Of just simply, I mean, one of the things you've got to remember, and this is why I was mentioning it in the Friday Facts, is that you might actually find that it's steel that you really want. Not steel. Steam that you really want on Volcanus. And like the sulfur is basically a byproduct that you need to get rid of. And of course you can just dump it into lava, you know. And that's why I think there's got to be a price to pay for doing that. I think that there will be a cost basically for just, you know, dumping things into lava, because otherwise, as you say, sulfuric acid is going to produce a lot of sulfur, and that's all just going to be redundant. You know, it's all just pointless essentially. You know, because we can just stick it into. We don't have any. A bit like this with landfill, where it's like, well, I'll just turn it all into landfill and stick it in a warehouse, and then I don't have to care about it. So I think there's going to be a cost for doing that, which is that it's incredibly pollution heavy. Still no blooming things, but we have made 2 of those. Okay. Is that all we need, really? That's the question. Is that all we need? So, if we think about this as... Oops. I'm full up again. Why have I got centrifuges? I seem to have arrived here with an insane amount of just rubbish, basically. I don't quite know why. The steam might not be for power. True. We're doing oil with coal liquefaction, which is going to be a large water sink. Oh, that's true, but there's really only oil by another name at that point. Tungsten is probably going to eat some at some point in the chain, I imagine. Yeah, I'm guessing that one of the... Although we didn't really see it on the tungsten carbide stuff, but I'm guessing there's got to be some kind of acid used in the production of the tungsten. It just feels like, as you say, why have so much sulfuric acid there? Other than for steam? As a bit of a spoiler on the video, the combat video, one of the things I point out is there will be no basic oil on Volcanus. And, of course, personal flamethrower ammo uses crude oil. So the flamethrower itself is going to be basically, as in your personal flamethrower, and your tank that flamethrower are going to be basically useless unless you start importing that. Because we don't have crude oil. We do still, we can still use flamer turrets because of the light and the heavy. But if you're going to all the trouble of using coal liquefaction, do you really want to be sticking it into flamer turrets? Okay, so this will make beryllium ingots, which are lovely. I can see lots of shadows flying over, so I suspect I've probably filled this up, have I? Wow, yeah, okay. Okay. Stop blowing stuff up. Because it's too full of... Don't shoot again. Coal. In fact, we will... If we put... just empty it out. Yeah, for some reason. Why have you put... Why have I got assembly machines in? Oh, I guess because they... Yeah. I see. But yeah, let's see if it can make a couple more of them. So I think I'm literally just going to set this up so we've got some beryllium knocking about for when we get to that science pack. And then we'll look properly at doing iridium. So we need coal, sand and beryllium powder. Okay. Did I have... Rate calculator I do. So, per second that'll make 0.16. Okay. If we stuck some speeds in it, what would you get up to then? A third of one. Okay. So maybe if we have... Well, we've got two. So... Maybe we can get a third one, and then it'd be... I mean, 1 a second's a lot, isn't it? Considering I'm just going to leave it, to fill up some chests somewhere. But in theory, let's think about... Unless it started firing in... In fact, I've got some, haven't I? Can I get it just to make a third one? I can. Okay. So let's see what the maths would be like if we did do this, because I'm also obviously aware this will require a lot of power. Okay, so if that was 1 a second, kind of maybe. To get the powder, now what's the powder made in? A biochemical facility. Now I think I've got some of them. But it's also made in a chemical plant, which we can't use here. We can't build here either. So, what was it? Biochemical facility. That one. Now have I got some of them? No. Marvellous. Right, so if we change you to biochemical facility. That looks a little easier to make. And probably the things I've got. Oh dear. Haven't they fixed this? There was a post on Reddit I saw that someone was saying, you know, any chance we could fix the whole inventory explosion? It's like when you swap your outfits. And I think they have actually done it. So that would be loaded extraction theory. Have I literally got the only big electric motors? I think I have. Probably got the only glass as well. Let's have a look at... Well, at least we're getting some of them in, which is not unuseful to have. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So if we then swap this to glass, maybe. And swap the recipe out. You're not shooting. Why would you be shooting? No. Cool. Okay, so we can get that to send us some glass. And then what about big electric motors? Can I just make a few of them? Don't they involve lube though? They do involve lube. Are they a shootable? Are they shootable? No. It is weird what it lets you shoot them like that. Okay. So we'd have to make some of them. And that would involve lube. However, I do have some. How many per craft? 6. Okay. So we can make a bunch out of that. I don't want to use them all up, really. Let's put 12 in. So in theory get 3. More, as it were. What does it do for numbers? Tungsten, they should let us pump lava in the flame turret slot. Well, this is, I mean, that, again, to preview my my combat video. That's what I'm proposing. That's what I think the your replacement will be. Is that I don't actually think lava. What I think you'll be able to do is pump. Is you essentially use liquid metal as fuel for the flamer turrets, and that it'll be like the super fuel basically for flamer turrets, because of course the foundry can make liquid metal on any planet. Okay, lava you would have to export, and I suspect there'll be a rock paper scissors aspect to the new enemies, that the ones on, just as an example, and I don't know how it would actually work, but we're obviously getting a hot planet and a cold planet, and we're getting a biological planet and a kind of what would you call it, cyber planet, I guess. So there's a good possibility, and I didn't actually make this point in the video, it kind of just occurred to me, but kind of possibility that those are yin and yangs, so that the things, so for example the Tesla turret, which we now know we're getting, could be really effective on Gleba, and Gleba, whatever the weapon system is there, could be really effective on Folgora, assuming that my theory that there's a turret of some description, defensive turret on Gleba, proves to be true, which obviously I don't know at all. But that you've then got a yin and yang of Volcanus and Aquila. You've got a hot planet and a cold planet, so maybe the cold weapons are really useful on fighting the lava biters, and the lava weapons are really useful at fighting the whatever the cold enemies are. That's the most obvious pairing, but it could simply be more that Volcanus enemies are really proof against fire-based attacks because they're already hot, lava biters or what have you. And so any other effect is effective against them. So you can use anything. You can use lasers, because we have seen quite a lot of lasers being deployed on Volcanus. But yeah, so that was my sort of theory, essentially, that is going to be a rock, paper, scissors. I shouldn't be telling you all this. You should be watching the video and I'm marvelling at how amazingly brilliant I am. But yeah, so that's kind of my theory. Oh, crikey, look at the size of that one. So we're wanting to make that stuff. Because the other thing we need is blooming sand, don't we? I'm pretty sure I can just crush sand in here. Yeah, so we just crush sand in them. There's obviously the proper crusher. But yeah, so that was my kind of theory, that there's a bit of a lava, you know, is a replacement or a upgrade or something to the thing. But it's actually the liquid metal. And of course the foundry, as I say, can make liquid metal anywhere for you. So you're not going to be limited by, you know, that as a fuel. You've just got to remember to, and of course we know we can stick it in trains. You know, you can send liquid metal around via trains. Okay, so we're going to need water as well. Oh, we're going to produce water. Okay. But we need beryllium hydroxide. Wow, indeed. There's some hydroxed beryllium, eh? Right, so in theory, how much of this would we actually need? 105.6. And that would make 16. How about we scale that back then? 105.6. 35.2. So I'd need 3 of them as well, and I've got 2, is it? Or have I got 3? I've got 3. Okay. I don't see how I'm powering all this, but let's assume the maths works. This would also then need 10.56 of that, and that produces 5. If we just go double machine there, kind of in the right ballpark. So that'd be 10 sands, and that's that. So that would be 105.6 that it's making, which is exactly what it wants. Okay. Now how would we fuel that? Or resource that? We would need beryllium hydroxide. Now where the heck is that made? This is where it turns out there's some research that I specifically need. It won't tell me in here, will it? Oh, it will. Okay. Beryllium. Oh, I need cyanide rods. Oh. I'm rapidly coming to the conclusion that for the sake of this, sending the raw beryllium is going to be just easier. Just maybe start firing that at Nauvis. Although I could send it to Ran, couldn't I? If we need cryonite rods, that's where we're making cryonite rods. So if I just basically send this to... Because is there a recipe? Because if we set this up, I should go and look at the glass. I'd better build up the thing. Oh, hello. Some people come in. Hello, Ridger. Welcome. Hope you're doing okay. Apologies, I didn't see the chat before. I was getting carried away again. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend. Not to spoil your video, but do you think we'll see combat changes on Nauvis? I feel all the new military stuff is going to trivialise the basic biters. That's not actually. So the first video on combat isn't really about. I think there might be changes to biters on Nauvis. I think we might get a new biter of some description. I'm not at all sure of that. I think no is basically the answer to your question. I don't really think there will be much of a change on Nauvis, because I don't think that's what they're going for. I think there will be, it'll be the same challenge on Nauvis effectively, and that it's other planets where it becomes much more complicated, and not complicated, but there's new challenge, different challenge, that sort of thing. So no, I don't actually think Nauvis will really change. It's like, I think the main change to it will be more that like artillery, for example, is pushed off of Nauvis. So that's where your challenge will come in terms of like change to Nauvis, because you won't be able to get artillery until you go to the planet that has artillery, and that may not be where you want to go. You know, that might be the fourth planet or third planet rather you go to, and so you could be struggling to clear out biters. I think, well, I got a bit confused. I think some of the, well, I'm not 100% sure, but there was an implication that as well, like personal equipment, like the level 2 personal equipment was going to be off planet as well. So again, and Spidertron, of course, we definitely know Spidertron is off planet. So it's the challenge comes in that you're not necessarily going to have all of the tools you need, but you might get other tools. And so that's kind of the change that's happening. I do think maybe there will be like a, what would you call it, like megabyter or something, you know, like a new level. But I'm not sure. Nice YouTube video. Thank you very much, Ridgio. That's very kind. I hope you enjoy. I hope you've been enjoying them. I really love making those videos. They're great fun. And I recently kind of got a new approach to doing the editing, basically, which has made them a little bit easier for me to do. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, my friend. Pepturic. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. If you make process chains on planets, you can add pod modules. Also, ingots are dense and thus better to launch. Okay. Thank you for the tip. So I think I'm probably just going to send the raw material, basically, and then I'll kind of come back to it. Just because it's going to be a bit simpler for this. I think what I might end up doing is maybe setting up a rocket, because this is just getting a bit too complicated, and I would also have to set up a really big, solar array as well, which I don't think I can support. Just because, I'd have to launch cryonite rods here now, it turns out. And then obviously on the planet as well, I can just use chemical plants, which I assume that's a simpler way to do it, for me anyway. So yeah, if we launch that, because what I'm already doing, and I didn't need to do it because I didn't realise, but I'm already sending the iridium to the vulcanite planet that I'm doing. So if I just send this to Ran, and I know it's super inefficient, but at the moment I don't really care. So if I was, you see, to try and make that beryllium hydroxide, I would need more biochemical facilities. So if we would, instead to scale it back, the other option, so if we just sort of take these out. So if we're now just trying to support one, we need 35.2, and that's what one of those produces. Oh, keep filling myself up again, didn't I? We turned out the small miners don't work here anyway. So get rid of them. Did I actually turn the glass off? Or did I get completely restricted again? It didn't, did I? And it's... Okay. So I'd end up with one of those. So I would need beryllium. Beryllium hydroxide, which is the biochemical facility again. Just that one. So we need to get cryonite rods here. I should be able to send them if this is still viable. We would need 35.2, and that would only make 30.3 without modules. Does that then math? No. But do I care? Do I mind? Because it's only a third of one anyway. Don't think I care. So we'd need 14.6 of the size. It's only 0.587 of them, though, isn't it? So it's not a lot. So it might still work. We'd have to send water as well. Or would we? Because don't we have somewhere water ice? Yeah. If we do, it's nowhere close. Water ice, there you go. That's a long way away, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. This feels like this works better with trains or just going very, very simple. You know, and blasting the raw stuff out. Okay. So let's ignore that point for the moment. We would need... How many of you crushed barrels? How many barrels do I need to crush? I need to crush in biochemical facility again. Making on it. We need to crush. I guess we're probably going to need speeds in it as well. So if we're trying to go for 14.67, that's only producing 4. Okay. Okay. So, we take out speeds, which cuts obviously the power demand as well. Where do we get to? We get to 16, 16, 13.3. Guess we could have one in there, but we would need 6.67, which would be 2. We don't have 2. Can we make, or have we made? We have not, because we need the big guys. Okay. Also in Factorio there's Beryllium pyroflux melting. Pretty good stuff in my opinion. Okay. Right, so we need another one of them. Oh, it's built. It's built it. Okay. So, how many are we getting now? We are getting 6.67, 8.8. So we'll probably lose a to each. 7.6. One too many. 6.4. Okay, so that's not far off, is it? Maybe just give one extra. Okay. So. So we'd need 28 then. We'd also need sulfuric acid. Wow. Okay. How much are you actually going to produce? 2.625. Marvellous. Okay. So, no way we're supporting that with even a couple of these patches, is it? We need to module these as well. It would take a lot of modules, so what that does to us. 6.563. Wait. 28. Yeah. There's not really any point trying to bother doing 2, is there? For what I'm up to. So if that was 12. Let's see if we can't get some power and stuff over there. Now, have I got much left in the way of platform? And where's the request? Where's the request? There it is. Get some of them. 2 times more ingots than the coal recipe. Space research. Okay. I don't, just to note, feel free, I mean, I don't care if you backseat. but don't get annoyed when I don't do what you say. I don't really pay a lot of attention to backseating. The odd thing's fine and that, but you know, I don't mind people doing it. It's just, as I say, I probably will ignore almost everything you say. So I've just had a few people who got a bit annoyed that, you know, I wasn't doing what they said, basically. So I just like to make that clear. So I don't mind you putting the tips in, as I say, just don't get annoyed, because some people do for some reason. So if I just move that up, maybe. Right, so if I cover this whole patch, what do we get? Can I cover this whole patch? I think so. So, what does it do? There, maybe? Okay, how much is that potentially going to make? So that gets us another 5.625 in theory. Probably going to be better just using mod reels rather than big speeds in just yet. Let's see if we can tweak that in. What's that? 7.125, which... Oh, I didn't leave a satellite over there. Radar over there, did I? Like a plonker. What was this? This was like 6 or something, wasn't it? Which gives us 15. Let's just nip back there and put a radar on it then. Where's it going to be a good spot? We've got one. So this gives us 6.5, and then if we kind of run a bit of a power pole extension up here. Oops. Right. I'm not actually sure. Oh, obviously we put it the right way around, obviously. Doesn't that only deliver like... Oh no, it's 45, okay. For some reason I thought it was super slow. And then let's take that. Yeah. Is that worth it? Let's just do that. Oops. Split on that arm. Okay. Oops. Nearly fell off the asteroid. Okay, get ourselves a radar on. Feels a bit conceptually weird just sticking a great big spur along like this. Very strange idea. Okay. there. Right, so that in theory gets us enough stuff, but how many crushers did we need? Or was this doing the crushing? I can't remember. Yes, so that needs acid, but it gets us... Oh, right, okay, we get sand out of it. Okay. Do what Arundel's obsession with sand is. Okay. I say we'll do a very, very simple, just, you know, production chain. Literally just want to get this so that when we get there, I've got a load of stuff stuck in the chest, basically. Oh, you get water out of it. Okay. Interesting. I guess that's coming from the acid. Interesting idea. So, if that was... I don't know what I get, but... if that was coming in there... just stop that then. We will put... Okay, so we do get... two things out. But... in fact, we get water out as well, don't we? Okay. I mean, I could just do the whole... stick it in a warehouse and sort it out thing. Given I'm just trying to do something simple. No, let's do it this way then. So we're getting Beryl sulfate out, which is what this needs. Oh, that's the same machine. Beryl sulfate. Okay, so if we just direct feed that in. How much water do you actually need then? So you need 25 waters to do your crafting, and you only produce 1 waters. Okay. So it's short by quite a bit. Okay. So I'm wondering maybe if I do a thing here, and we order in sulfuric acid barrels, stick them in there, and water, so we can then pipe whatever's left. Trouble is, I'm not going to be able to manage that if I do that, am I? What orientations do we also get? Rotate round, because I need to unbarrel that sulfuric acid and end up with, you know, stupid amounts of steel again. So that would be unbarreling sulfuric acid. And if we had another one that was doing water, I guess it's self-controlling, isn't it, in the sense that, but no, it wouldn't be really. I'd probably have to do some kind of tank arrangement, because this would, otherwise it would just fill up infinitely, and this would always be getting its water from here. So I guess we could control it in that way. You know, so if that's coming into a tank thing, but I don't really want it direct connected necessarily. Well, I guess that would work, because I could just control that with a pump. Yeah, I could make that work. And then we would need chromite rods as well. So in theory we could have, I guess, chromite rods coming into that one. Water coming in there. Empty water. Empty water. Well, that would probably end up being down here in reality. So, somewhere along those lines. No, that wouldn't work. Done. To be. So then that this pumps. I got water pumps. That's a point. Since we got a load of those furnaces, and we can't actually use them, we'll get them out of the inventory. I have got pumps. Excellent. So I'll do a control on that one, and then yes, I could just. Sort that out in some way. Because both of those are going to have to dump barrels. So you've got to get rid of somehow. Okay. So if there was chromite coming into there, we're getting water as well, and sulfuric acid. Don't need to be stacks really, do they? Okay. We also need to take the actual stuff across, as well as get rid of the sand. Now, that'll just control itself, but this will have to be, oops, it's, you know, filtery one, to take that little bit of sand out. Now, next machine in the chain then, would be this one. Oops. And how does this work then? So that takes beryllium in. We might as well just directly connect it for now. Oh, it outputs water. Okay. So it looks like maybe we need to control that altogether. Yeah, stop it from filling stuff up, I guess. Okay. And then get to there. Can we arrange that? Yes, we can. Okay, that's output, isn't it? Yeah. And then now this one takes the powder, sand, and coal. Okay. What's his input then? Oh, I was thinking about a liquid. Excellent. So we then put that in there. Why does it have a liquid input? I guess it's just part of the machine, is it? Because the recipe doesn't have a liquid input. Okay. Anyway, the point is, we would then need. So we've got this sand going on here. We then need another one of these. Now, how have I set it up on? Now this. Because I don't know that I'm bringing sand in as such. I know I've got stone, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm crushing that here already. Is it going into any kind of chesticle? No. No, it is not. So, we can now start replacing some of these because we need coal to come in. So they need to be on yet another signal thing, don't they? That's a bit annoying. Okay. So we need another one of them. Now what we're going to need to do is kind of swap this from a green, I think. So we don't want this to be operating on green signal. Take that out anyway. Oh no, stop. And it's because I didn't change the recipe. And what did we need? We needed coal. And we needed... Oh, we needed a bunch of things actually, didn't we? Because we need stone, I guess, is probably just the easiest to send. But then we also need... hook these up first. Green. Send. Separate signal here. Oops. Wrong button. If I just quickly swap those to active providers and just get rid of the junk. But we then need water barrels and sulfuric acid. So you need to be bringing in a bit of acid. Bit of acid, and you need to be bringing in a bit of water. So we're waiting on the signals, aren't we? I should be able to just set these all up already. So if water is less than, I don't know, let's call it 200, and acid is less than 200 as well. Oh, you're getting that. That's fine, but you don't have a destination or anything, do you? Yeah. So we want the asteroid belt. Boot. It's off, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think I've set those up properly yet, have I? So we'll just leave them for the time being. So, that's the water. And have we got enough stuff here? We have. So swap them back over. You've got stone, you've got asteroid belt already, of course. You've also got a destination. We need to change that. What we're doing? Pressing the wrong buttons, as per usual. So we need coal coming in here. Just a bit. We need stone in here. Okay, so if they fill them up, so the signal here would be, which one's which? That's stone, isn't it? So stone less than, again, I'm not actually fussed on this working really, anything other than just a trickle. Oh, there's less than 200. That's ready to go. That's ready to go. That's waiting on its things. This we need to be looking at asteroid belt request, but we don't set that up yet. Okay. Okay. Now, how can we we do now? Right. Oh, we're going to need power here as well, eh? I think I need to rethink that in a second. So, this one, and so we need a transmitter. Let's just pop it here. We need to do red wire, don't we? Because they do actually have different channels, which that threw me for a loop. And that needs to hook to you. And that as well, but this is wrong, isn't it? Because what we actually want to do, in fact, this is too low down, isn't it? It's a smaller machine. What we actually want to do is put it in a chest and put it in a machine, because we need to crush. So this, because don't you need something else? You need the coal as well. That didn't work, does it? Because it's not going to be able to insert. Okay, can move it a long one. Got that? Yeah. So then we can put coal in there, stone in there. This can just do a bit of the old crush. But then we want, let's use green signals. So that needs to be only active if there is less than 200 or something in there. So this one will take stone in and coal. Oop. Ever so slightly too far. Okay. So this one then. Okay, so what we want here is some of these guys. Okay, we'll just do the one. So we want acid barrels. I can't remember what I set it to. I can't remember what I set it to. Was it? It was only minus 20 or something, wasn't it? No, not cosmic water, regular water. Minus 20. Then we'll do. That was like 100, I think. Was it? No, that's 100. And then this is asteroid 1. Cool. So you're now pumping out asteroid 1 request. So if we look at now this, I change you to asteroid 1 request. Then we should be getting some signals here. We don't appear to be. Oh, it's also getting all the green stuff as well, isn't it? Because it didn't filter. Because that's now getting the whole green thing as well. Ah. So let's disconnect that for the sake of setting this up. Now what are you getting? Minus 100, so that needs to be less than 200. There we go. And less than 200. And oh, 200 I set it on. Okay. Maybe 20. Oh, it's actually just 0, isn't it? That's right. I've forgotten how I've been doing this. So it's just less than 0. And then I can control the amount with the actual combinator. That's right. So it's less than 0. Less than 0. They're requesting, so bump that up given what we set it to. Yes, they're only requested 20, aren't they? So double that. Double that. Okay. So you're all ready to go. You've got barrels, got coal, got stone. Okay. So you need to go to that one. This is where this gets really painful. I mean, this is where it gets really painful. The whole thing's really painful. And then you need to go to the same place. There. And then... back to there. This one. That one. It's not that one. It's this one. Cool. And then... do you think they'll ramp up the juiciness of the Friday Effects closer to release? Yeah, definitely. I think... well, if they got any common sense, they will. And I wouldn't say that Factorio devs were lacking common sense, but yeah, I can't see how they won't... I'm kind of anticipating... well, I think I said at the end of my, the video today that I'm sort of thinking that part of why it was a quiet one was that it's summer holidays, and that maybe half the team is, taking their summer holidays. And so when they get back in September, then because they did actually mention doing that, it's not some weird revelation that they were planning on having a break over summer. But I think when they get back, September type of time, we'll probably then ramp up, and I think we'll just get quality of life type ones. Not that don't like the quality of life, but it's not quite the same as I didn't do the chromite rods, did I? They need to come here as well. Should we just set all of that going and see what happens? See if we end up blowing our stuff up. But yeah, I think we'll get, I think basically a Quillo, the revelation of what a Quillo is, will represent kind of a run. I'm suspecting that maybe the last 6 will be, absolute bangers, basically. So, what's that? That'd be another 4 week, so basically August, yeah. We'll have a stretch of fairly quiet ones. Because I think what they were thinking was that the Tesla one was going to be a big, there'd be lots of chatter and lots of talk about it. So I thought they were thinking that maybe that was like their, now we're going on summer holiday and you'll get 4 quiet ones sort of thing. And actually, part of the reason, because I've seen some people being a bit disappointed with this one, and part of that is because last week wasn't, or people didn't perceive it as as a absolute banger of our 5 quiet. And so from their perspective, it's more like we've had several quiet ones. I'm probably reading a lot, far too much into that. They probably just do whatever comes to mind, as it were, rather than properly planning it out to that degree. Didn't I have? I do have recycle facilities, so potentially we could do something with, recycling these barrels. So there's that. I didn't set the logic on that, did I? So this inserter should only turn on if there is less than 1,000 waters, I think. So then it's just doing the recycle bit. So it's sent 40 already. That's a little worrying. Why have you sent so many? Why have you continued to send? Which one are we coming in next? That's water. Is it going to stop? Because it should all be sort of a bit steady state. Or stopped, rather, not steady state. It should all be sort of stopped. Can't see any more coming in. Okay. So hopefully no errors there. Got a bit of the old stone. Got a bit of the old sand. Ah, that's not good. So what we want to do there really is have some filters, don't we? Oops. So you need to just be stone. 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 And you need to be the barrels. Wait. Why has it even got barrels in? Is that the bots being cheeky little monkeys again? I think it is, isn't it? No, don't put barrels in there. Why have you put barrels in there? So this is fine. And that shouldn't be stone anyway, but fine. Just the bots messing me about, you see. Messing me about. The Tesla turret one and the fusion reactor were quite awesome. I think it's the many questions the community have that people are waiting for to be answered to. Like details on space logistics. Yeah, I can't believe we had know so little about that. And that's like the big, that's what it's about. That's what it is. And we don't know anything really about space logistics. Although most are probably somehow answered, but not explicitly, as well as Gleba and monsters. I'm curious to see the new endgame goal. I don't think they've touched on the new win condition at all. No, I don't think they've said anything other than literally that there is a... I mean, we don't know that it's even called Aquila yet, you know? We saw, obviously, the sheet music with that name on it, so it seems like a pretty dang good guess, but I don't technically know that that's what it's called. All we know is that you need to do science in order to get there, and you've got to do all of the intermediate planets before the end, so that is the end game science. We've seen the black science pack and the sort of purple, dark purpley one, and I think they have confirmed on Reddit that there is that end game science like there is in, you know, the white space science at the moment. So we've pretty much had confirmation that there is going to be a infinite end game science, but what any researches we're going to be unlocking, or, you know, any of that stuff, we do not have a clue. That is, however, the sort of thing I think they might not tell us. You know, I think that's in the territory of you'll find out when you play it, sort of thing. And then it's kind of how quickly can you personally get there to avoid spoilers, basically. You know, I think that's a doesn't need to be one of them. In fact, I could just lob the cryonite at that, can't I? The question is whether we can do cryonite, basically. That's like the question. But yeah, I really want to know what it is. I mean, I say I did a whole video about, you know, what it's going to be, in which I put my more sane theories, and that was a teleporter, as Baker Magician was saying, but also, or one of the ideas. But I was like, build a spaceship basically, and that it turns out is the end game, or one of the win conditions for this as well. So it makes some sense from there. But it leaves the real question to me of, you know, if it's a spaceship, why would you still be staying here doing infinite science? You know, you would go away, wouldn't you? And you wouldn't need to do infinite science to win the game if it's launching interstellar, you know, interstellar capable spaceship, you know. I'm not sure why, since it's close to dinner time and you mentioned bangers, now part of me wants some bangers and mash for dinner. I haven't had bangers and mash in ages. There's an idea. Um. Yes, so we're just missing the cronite. We will have to see whether that's going to be possible for me to set up over on RAN. I should have the bits and pieces to be able to send it. Here we go. But whether we can actually do that, I don't know. How might that work? So if we put another one... Can't put another one there. Okay. How about... Why has that got nothing? Oh, it's because it's the junk. Oh, this was... Yeah. I set up this iridium I set up and then basically discovered that whatever it's called, the Volcanus equivalent, has iridium on it. So this whole belt thing is pointless, basically. There you go. Did we have them? You see, this is the question. I could probably remotely set up something to build them. Can we see evidence of a bot? Oh, we have a bot. Excellent, so we have got them. Excellent, excellent. Right, so if we do a little split, because why am I sending them there? Oh, that is that one. Huh, well how about... Thank you, Mr. Bot. I'm afraid I might change my mind. How about then we kind of pop an extra one on here? Because what signal am I going to be putting out? Now this orbit quest, Damia request. Because you can only tune these to one thing. This is the type of thing I want to know in the logistics. It's not so much the actual platforms. It's the how am I going to order, you know, all my science packs to one planet. Or if I want to do something more complicated. And intermediates in particular, science packs is a terrible example, isn't it? But if I want to send, you know, 1,000 bits of tungsten carbide from Volcanus to Volgora, and I want to always make sure I've got 1,000 in stock, that's a signals question, you know? That's a logistics network question. Or how do I do that? Because is it just that radars are now interplanetary radars? Is that how it works? Or what? You know? And I say that's the thing I want to find out about. How do we control this, you know, monstrous logistic system? The other question is whether I've got any of them. Diddly well. I very much like more Friday Facts about issues they encountered with gameplay and how they went about and solved them. It doesn't have to be spoiling stuff, probably. But yeah, that'd be good. I mean, they did mention doing that big LAN party thing, didn't they? And like the performance improvements, I think they said, came out of their experiences on that. You know, so the bot change and that thing. Do we capture? Cool. And this needs to go to Calidus orbit. Needs to come here. And then we need this to have a cryonite rod signal. Of say, we needed tiny numbers, didn't we? It wasn't anything. Oh, should be minus. And then back to Damia. Was it Damia? No. Ran. But yeah, that, you know, that's exactly the sort of thing I'd love to hear. I was a bit, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm self-interested, as it were, because it's obviously my, you know, only videos I've done that have proven to be, you know, popular in a way. So there's, wait, what happened? Why is that not? Oh, it is. Okay. No? Oh, I need to connect it to there anyway. So this needs to be on that. But yeah, it's only, there was like an implication that basically once it's launched, they're not going to do any more Friday Facts. Which, you know, fine. I mean, you know, they've done it, but I kind of thought they'd do a few more. I mean, they did when they did the original release. We got a whole bunch of them, basically. Not least of all, telling us how well the release had gone, you know. So if that's... So it's just that it's less than 0, isn't it? So why is it not working? What signal are you getting? -10. Oh, you are? Okay, you're just not set on auto. Okay. Awesome. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be, because obviously I'd forgotten I'd set all of that up. Right, have they arrived? They have arrived. Do we have chromite rods here? We do. Excellent. So, we connect this up. We might actually get some beryllium. Get some beryllium. Get some beryllium. If that can work. Is this too quick? Yeah, it's pretty much coming up that. Yeah, it's not backing up. So that's now filling up. So that's getting a lot in. Okay. Looks like that might need to scale a bit. Another one? We've only got one. So yeah, that we know that this isn't ratioed anything like sensible numbers. Is it getting stuff in order to be able to work is the question. It is. Okay. So you're full. What are you full? It's your full. Oh, of course, because I'm not sending it anywhere. Brilliant. Minimally spoiling full example of space logistics with all the details would be so nice. I don't think you'd need to spoil a lot, would you? I mean, we now know all of the science packs exist, so they could just use that as the example, you know. So they don't need to go and tell us how to make tungsten carbide or whatever. Or I think you can work that out, but you know, we don't need any of that. They could just use any one of the science packs as an example, you know, and just go, right, well, this is how you basically send stuff around the system, you know, and that's it. We don't really need details of any packs or anything like that. We just need yeah, disconnected the power. So yeah, I don't mind that one filling up really, that's fine. The ingots. I don't really have anywhere to send it. That's the thing. Because I'm not making any of the science, so... yes, so we need these ordering in now. That's really, really annoying. Okay. So what we need to actually send is... Right. Very annoying. Okay, so we're going to have to put this onto the signal network as well. Where's that connection? Is there a connection here? And then what we need to put on is... Okay. Yeah, I say that, you know, it would be quite easy, I think, to do one. Just using... I mean, you could even just use iron. You know, you could say, right, well, for some reason X, you need to move iron to one of your planets. Here's how you would do it, sort of thing. You know, because the big thing for me is like this. In order to have multiple channels, you know, so each of these can work on 2 channels. Yeah, they can do red and green, but that's it. In order to make lots of different requests to lots of different places, you have to set lots and lots of these up. Is that how it's going to work in Space Age? That you know, we've got what we got. We've got 5 planets total. If we want to request things, which is the implication, you know, it's about the space logistics. That seems to be what they want to do. If it's about that, let's call it ammunition. If it's about that, then how do I tell all 4 of my other planets to order up? So, you know, we know that they're trying to lock foundries, for example, and these other recipes, these other things, to individual planets. So if the only place you can build foundries is on Volcanus, but I want to use foundries on every single other planet, then that's 4 potential signals. Yeah, saying, can send me make sure I've got 50 foundries. Are you just connecting your logistics networks across? Because you're going to get this same problem that we have here, that unless when I put these onto the red and green channel, yeah, if I was mixing all my signals up, you know, so if that one was pointing at another planet and that one's pointing at another planet, it's still the same red and green signals. You can split it up by like these, but you're only still sending a red and green signal. So you've only got 2 channels. So if I want to order different things up, am I going to have to do nutty circuit network things like I'm doing here? That seems like a very clunky way of doing things. Or is there a much smarter way of doing it, and there's an actual GUI that lets you say, right, you know, this is how it works, you know, this is what orders what, you know, this is, and then the system just sorts it out for you. Because that's kind of what I'm wondering, if like prioritization is all about, really, that they introduced it really in order for space platforms to work. It's not really about trains. It's great for trains as well, sort of thing. So if we do say just small numbers again, so I'm going to send all of these. In fact, that's actually a point. Let's go to Nelvis. So yeah, that's all the type of questions I want answering. You know, it's not really necessarily. Whoops, what happened there? So we want 4, don't we? If I can do 4. So let's get. In fact, let's wire them up first. As well. Because it's interesting, basically, I want to, you know, the reason I asked that is, you know, there have been a lot of Friday facts about, you know, circuit network stuff, you know, and to me that's because you need better systems for, you know, managing your interplanetary logistics, basically. You know, it's been disproportionate given it's technically a niche area of the game, and I know they've kind of said, oh, it's optional and stuff, but it's a bit like, you know, as we've said before, you know, are elevated rails really optional? How else are you going to work on Fulgora if you don't use elevated rails, you know? And then what's the 4th ingredient? Cap. Heat shields, okay. Come on. Okay, so you all need to be linked up to that. You need to be logging it here. And then we get this whole painful thing of having to do this over and over again. Surface, so is that the one I hooked up? It is. There, need to go to which one? This one. There. Yep, sort that out again. Back. 2. Asteroid. Boop. Select again. This. This asteroid. Why did I call it? Is it Calidus? Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Oh. I just call it some random thing. So, then we want them. Again, minus 10. And then we want them. Minus 10. They're on here, aren't they? Yeah. Them. Minus 10. Cool. It's obviously not sending anything yet. Does any of that necessitate barrels? It doesn't, does it? No. Cool. I'm sure our entire system again is absolutely drowning in barrels. Powder. Fluid. So this is actually starving for stuff. So maybe justify a bit of the old extra inserter. Okay, so back to Nelvis. I'm worried they'll scrap the procedure music. I want to hear more of it, and I'm very interested in seeing how it is when playing. I don't think they're scrapping it. I think the negative reaction was something I may be surprised by, but I think they're just going to push ahead with it. And they did say, I think Daniel did say that you can basically turn it off. It's in the advanced options. It's not in the normal options, which is the one where you get at by holding Alt when you click options. But you can turn it off if you hate it, sort of thing. But I'm more concerned, I'll be honest, on the music with I really didn't like that Folgora track. And that is just personal preference thing. That's not, I'm not saying that's bad music or anything. It's just electronica type music is just really not my cup of tea. I'm not actually ordering things in, am I? Which is why they're not filling up. So my concern is that it's literally just almost a practical one of, if I'm sat there, chilling out to the Factorio soundtrack, enjoying the tunes, which I really love the current soundtrack, and then suddenly this bleepy bloopy, I'm being facetious, but that type of music comes on, that could set me off. So what I really want is the option to just turn bits of the soundtrack off, in a sense. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how that procedural thing works. I didn't necessarily like that music that was produced, but that wasn't the intention. It was a tech demo. So yeah, I'd quite like to see how it works, particularly on this. How it gives that extra little flavour, just because it's meant to be just like an enhancement, really, to the music. It's not replacing entire tracks. Are you bringing them in? You're bringing them in. Excellent. Cool. I guess I could just check to make sure all the trains manage to sort themselves out. The error I made, basically, so I've moved this up. This is like the extended version that allows a train to fit in, and basically this is the old one for the steel. And so we ended up in a situation where, the trains wouldn't fit, basically. So I should be replacing that on all of them, but as with many things, I'm far too lazy. Okay, so have you started shooting? You lobbing over bits and pieces? Nope, because you're not turned on. You're turned on, but you've not got... I thought these were all on... So where are they then, bots? Come on. Just lazy. Okay, so... And that... I didn't set these signals in. So that's the problem. That less than 0. Less than 0. Turn that on. Less than 0. On. Cool. Still got loads of them. 2,500. Come on. I'm telling you. Better sort that out. Get some non-lazy bots. This was the other thing I was thinking, because I say, it was really a good comment actually. Just something that had never really occurred to me of how are we going to move all this stuff around, you know? Because we don't have any big train coming that we know of. Is it bots? You know, is there a Mark II bot that they've been hiding away? And it can carry, you know, 1,000 bits of steel sort of thing, and your cost is that it's slower? I don't think so, because I think they prefer belt-based bases. You know, that's kind of why they did all those buffs ages ago, to make belts parity with bots, basically. You never know, could be. Right, so did you bring in all of the bits that are needed? Well, we certainly have a delivery capsule. I don't know why I've done them. We have delivery capsules. Don't have anywhere to send it, which is, as we say, the point. Don't have anywhere to send it at all, do I? But I'm going to need to hook it up to a receiver. I haven't seen any brownouts, is the other thing. How am I going to do the recycling? How are we doing power-wise? See, these signal transmitters are enormously power-hungry. It's you know, wiggling away, so... Yeah, so I think we do need to extend it, but it's not as problematic as thought. But then this is the absolute monster with the power. There's a lot of cannons. Who could have imagined basically Civil War was the future solution to logistics, indeed. Yeah. If in doubt, shoot it, you know. I mean, what I should ultimately really be doing is like sticking things on into you know, cargo rockets and stuff. But I'm pretty sure, and it was, I think, I don't know if I wasn't very nice, but Factorio was basically implying there are later recipes that make a lot of it better. Basically, it's just, as I say, I think I've settled on if I can unlock the whatchamacallit, space elevator thing and space trains and just play about with that, I think I'm pretty much happy. If I ever get, you know, proper spaceships making them, then that's like a bonus basically. But say I really quite fancy the idea of the space oh, look at that. That looks a lot like that thing on Gleba, doesn't it? But yeah, that's kind of all I'm going for, so I'm not actually fussed about the most efficient way of doing anything. You know, if I can get within the next... Because I've got to remember, I've got my holiday, you see. So I haven't really got... There's only, whatever it is, 10 weeks or whatever, and basically 3 of them I lose because of my holiday. So yeah, next 6 weeks I've basically got to unlock Space Elevator. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm not actually fussed about efficiency and all that sort of stuff. I'd love to come back to it and like play it properly, but I think I'd want to play, as I say, I'd want to play it off stream so that I know roughly what I'm doing, and then maybe do a series of it, because it's what everyone says, you know, it's really, really involved. Everything, there's loads of, you know, you've got to send loads of stuff everywhere and set up loads and loads of different channels. They don't necessarily need to have huge volumes going down, you know, each route, but you know, you've got to have lots and lots and lots of production chains, and just understanding you've got to put this into there and that into there and move that there, and it's just the bit that's always difficult to work out on stream. So what was I going to do? It's like that, you know, Cryonite Lube. I bet that's an amazing recipe to use, but am I going to bother with it? No, probably not. Right, so what was I going to look up? I was going to look up what? There you go. iridium delivery can capsules. I bet they're amazing, but am I going to bother with it all? Probably not. What was I going to look up? I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was whether... So it's the science, basically. Because I've got the science for iridium, but I've not got the beryllium one. Is that right? Yeah. So if we look at... I don't even know what it is, you see. I think it's the blue one. Beryllium. Here we go. So it's this one. The question... Because it's the plate I need. But the plate is not what I'm sticking in the capsules. Basically. I think that's where I was going with this. So we need the plate. But the plate is made somewhere else. It's just whether is it best for me to fire this? I guess I don't need to decide, do I really? Just come back to it really. So the plate can be made anywhere, I think. But somebody did mention, one of you did mention, didn't it? Of course, you get prod bonus on a planet. But do I care? Again, if I'm just getting the elevator, I only need a couple of hundred other things. I think. Because it's the dark blue one. And it's like used there, and that's it. I bet this uses it as well, does it? Yeah, so... Yeah. So I've got to do pink one, and literally again I need... What's that? 10. And then I need, for the actual elevator, I need 2,000. Okay, that's not very cheap, is it? But that's it, you know, so it's 2,000 of these. And I'm kind of happy as Larry. I guess there's space trains as well. I don't know. Oh. Have I not done this? Space. And there's space logistics. I don't know if that uses them. That doesn't. No, that's way higher. Okay. So we're not going to get the fancy coloured belt. There they are. Yeah, so that doesn't actually even use them. That uses the purple one. Okay, so we'll intend to send it to our space platform around Nalvis. Oh, sorry, I was getting carried away again. I wonder if higher quality trains are going to have more capacity. It could well be. Could be that's their bonus. We don't really know what... I don't know, quality seemed like a weird thing, really, because... You know, I've said before, I'm all for it. I think it's a great way to do something a bit more different, a bit interesting. But a lot of the benefits you get from things are a bit naff, in a sense. You know, they're fine. I mean, they're good. You know, I'm not saying against. But a lot of stuff, it seemed to just be it gets more health. And it felt a bit like they'd not really properly integrated it into the game. You know, because the whole... what was the thing that we've got recently that has quality that really makes a difference? I can't remember. I mean, obviously production machines is like a massive thing, which is great. But there's something that gets a bonus from quality. Oh, my brain is just Swiss cheese. Whatever it was. But it felt like that was like something that had occurred to them a lot later on. Was my point. And it didn't seem, you know, like it was, right, well, here's all the ways we can make all of the things better that are a bit different and make it really worth your while doing, you know, quality versions of everything, you know. A bit like, so Power Armor gets more slots. That's a great improvement that you really want. But, you know, pipes have a bit more health is kind of rubbish. Why not make longer pipes, you know? I do hope so, but the train logistics and inserters haven't really been scaled up from what we know. With legendary stack inserters, they're going to unload instantly, and throughput is going to be bottlenecked by the trains themselves. Oh, well, I forgot about higher quality inserters. Yeah, I say there's so much that we know about that it's just easy to forget about. Does anyone want to know how much faster they are compared to existing ones? Stack inserters are just 33% higher now. I'm talking about the new inserter getting renamed to stack inserters, the white ones, that stack items up to 4 high on a belt. Max belt throughput is changing from 45 to 240. I don't know the exact numbers on the inserters, but clips they've shown suggest only if you can fully saturate that. Are you thinking of beacons? Yes, beacons. That's right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Where it's clearly occurred to them a lot later to do a thing that changes it, as it were. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And it feels like it needs more. It needed more integration. It needed more. Right. Well, this is what happened. Prod modules aren't just better. Legendary prod modules aren't just better. They're cheaper or something like that. Or I don't know. That's probably a terrible example, but you know what I mean. I say it's like, why aren't legendary underground pipes longer? Why not? Why not mess about with that sort of stuff? But yes, the other thing with the inserters is they're faster, aren't they? So legendary ones swing way, way, way quicker. So you get the stacks, increasing the amount that they can move around, but they also move it a lot quicker. A legendary one, because I thought some of the videos were just sped up, and actually they are super, super, super fast inserters. Cool. So this will just chug away, making a few. When we eventually get there, hopefully we've got some stuff. So what we need to do is give it a receiver. That we just want to pop in. And what are we doing with that receiver? Are we putting that on green wire maybe? Let's put it on green wire. Oh no, we need to hook. What are we putting the signal on there? Is that going to matter? It needs to know it needs stuff, otherwise it will just blow up a chest, won't it? But what do I want to control it on? I guess I do need to control the inserter, don't I? Basically say, because I don't, I want the chest to fill up, but I'm not really fussed about. 2000 maybe. So is that going to be a Nauvis orbit quest thing? It might be, which means I probably got the wrong signal. Because this would be in here somewhere. This would be one. In fact, why don't we start sending it? Because I can always use the... Can I? Because I can use the regular, these guys to turn it into these ones. Turn it into stuff. Yeah, let's just send it. So it's green signal. We want... oops, that one. Minus 2000. 2000 did I say? Yeah. So you're now getting signal going out. This one needs to be those guys. Cool. So you should now be getting a signal coming in. Let's put it on a power pole so I can actually see what it is. What's the signal you're getting? Can't tell. Okay, let's use a combinator to check what it's seeing. One. Oh. Oops. Right, might be. Let's just use a thingy combinator then. Decider. Do my other. So, if that's great. Or less than 0. Give me an output. So you're not getting a beryllium signal. Okay. Now this orbit request. Is it not on green then? What have they got? Doing time it's 5 to 6. Crikey. So, this isn't now this orbit, is it? That's now this orbit. So you're going a second. So it's outputting 2,000. It's going on the green. Is it making it to there? Where? To there? Which one are they hooked up to? This one. Now this orbit request. Okay. I guess it wouldn't give me any. It's not the signal that a combinator would send, is it? I've been done there. Yeah, okay. So, in the assumption that I have got that right, that would need to be less than 0, not less than that. This needs to go to... So this is a problem. The brain just turns to cheese. There. Switch her on. Not even made 100 yet. Is that because of any problems? Just slow, basically. So it looks like that could process more. 6.67. 2.2. So maybe if I give it a little speedy boost. A little bit faster. Oh, power's gone. Yeah, okay. I was just a little scared that transcontinental belts are going to be better than trains. Yeah, that'd be a shame, I think, if it was just that you end up with your entire... I mean, we've seen a lot of trains being used on... they're the things they've shown us, basically, so hopefully not. But yeah, it'd be a bit of a shame if, it actually became better to, like, fill your entire base with belts, essentially. And it just became almost reverted back to, the early days, as it were, where having a belt going halfway across your, as you say, your continent is way, way better. I think that'd be a shame if it did end up like that. We'll have to see, really. So I can't, given, how to put it, the devs themselves seem to love using trains, so I'm kind of assuming it's all going to be okay from that point of view. But, yeah, a bit of a shame, I think, to just optimal solution is a million belts, because that's just a bit boring, if I'm honest. Right. Trains are perhaps the most exciting thing for me in Space Age 2.0. Yeah, the train throughput might ruin it. I don't want to calculate anything, but it seems like hard to outperform the trains with long belts. Yeah, I think a lot of it's to do with the inserters, isn't it? Because basically, I guess if a stack, and the new stack inserter, a couple of those can fill a mega belt, and I think we're okay. But if it takes more than 6 to fill it, because one of the things with these new stack inserters is it's like almost, do they derive their high throughput from the stacking, essentially? Can 3 of them fill a side of a belt? I think they can, from what I've seen on the things, but if they can't, well, I guess you've got both sides. You could start doing those sorts of arrangements of trains. But if 12 inserters can't fill a belt, one of these new mega belts, then it's difficult. I mean, the other question to me of it is, how easy is it to move all this stuff around, you know? Does the 240 belt actually become a bit of a luxury, and you only really use it for the tiniest amount of stuff? Because if it's all has to be made on volcanoes, and you can only send like 100 of it in a rocket, you know, that's quite a limitation. I mean, even in this tiny little base, I've got what? I've got 329 belts in this tiny little base thing. If that's 4 rockets worth of, you know, production, that is quite a lot to send, you know. So yeah, maybe it becomes a bit of a luxury using the mega belt. Okay, it looks like it sent one, which might be perfect timing because it's basically 6 o'clock. One thing. There we go. Yeah, we have beryllium ingots, 100 of. Excellent. So it'll just keep chugging away now, making the old berylliums. So what I've done is I've skipped a step, essentially. I'm a bit worried that this is just stopped, and I don't know why. I'm thinking maybe we've got some production issue. Because it was ticking away slowly, but it seems to have just sort of halted. It looks like maybe it's the space sites itself. Huh. Because we don't have space transport belts. Why not? Why not? Is that... that's this production issue, isn't it? Huh. Where are you taking all of those? Yeah. Wonder why I'm ordering them in. And how have I got blooming rocket parts on there? What is this madness? Oh, I guess those need to be filters, don't they? There's always problems to solve. I don't really know what that's doing there. Because that's my scrap send back thing, which is full. Why have you not launched? Because it didn't have the sections. Because they're trapped in there. As I say, I hope the remote stuff, it really is a lot better in this, because it's a bit clunky doing this. Everything remotely in this. It's great, and it feels like it's going to be amazing, but it doesn't quite work. You know, it's not quite the same. You know, I suppose at the very least, give me a Spidertron that I can send around, and I can be the Spidertron, you know. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. We're nearly there. We do need to set up cannon stuff, meteorite cannon jobs, a couple of them. See what that does to the power. So we have a little bit of headroom, but probably not enough. Trains are like really unrealistically fast currently, but I'd be disappointed if their speed cannot be increased in space age. I guess, I mean, it could also be that the braking force, there could be an extra couple of levels of that, so that it's not just that you can, you know, drive them faster. Although I wouldn't be surprised if there is a, you know, we're getting fusion. you know. There's got to be a fusion fuel or something like that, you know. In fact, maybe that's it. Maybe there are fusion-powered trains or something, you know. Because you know, and that's your mega train or something like that. I don't know. I kind of doubt some of those. Then I think the challenge will just because the problem is it's easy to think of ideas of right. This is you can fix it by doing a better version of a thing, and that's I think is partly what they're trying to avoid. You know, they don't want it to just be right. Well, I'll build the mega train and that'll solve my problems. So I haven't done anything about scrap, have I? So there's that issue. But I really want to see, because I'm kind of just going to leave this with what I brought. I think what I'll do is I'll set up one of these that's just a spare one, basically. I can throw anything at it. And we'll sort this whole thing out here as well. But what I'm really worried about is the power. Yeah, that's sucking up all the juice. Okay, so we do need a lot more panels, really. We have got quite a few, so I can stick them in, but it means adding on more platform. Which is fine. So, what I would try and do, probably, is look at sending the spaceship back. And then we can maybe mess about with that next time, see if that's any use. Because I don't know that I can make the fuel for it, you see. So I don't know how all that works. Because it'd be interesting to play it with it and use it as part of my logistics. But if it runs out of fuel, I haven't got any way of refueling it. I'm just hoping that cargo wagons can get more capacity. Yeah, I think that's probably the most logical thing to add. And certainly if it was quality cargo wagons for more capacity. But the trouble with that as a solution is obviously that depends then on you using quality. And it's meant to be a standalone mod that you don't need. So, yeah. And it's like the same with the inserters thing. It's like, if the answer is faster inserters because of quality, then how is quality optional, you know? Fluids 2.0 is going to enable crazy setups that the 25k wagons might not keep up with. Yeah, I think that is a real risk. I don't know if they really considered that. I think the real risk for Fluids 2.0 is it renders cargo wagons, fluid wagons, basically redundant. And I say, I think that'll be one of the unfortunate. I don't mind, you know. That's one I'm not fussed about, but it's a bit of a shame because the other problem, of course, is with trains is, you know, your system itself has a fixed capacity, whereas with the Fluids 2.0, you can just shove in as much one end as you can take out of the other. So then you get into that territory of right, well, for a mega base, actually, just piping everything everywhere is the solution. And where's the fun in that, eh? But yeah, cool. So yes, that's it for today. I'm looking at the game because it's doing all that platform thing, which I shouldn't be. As noted, I mean I'm not properly fully up to speed, but I'm pretty much there after my unfortunate cold last week. So yeah, it shouldn't be any problems continuing on, you know, tomorrow or next week. We will be back to the version 1.0. I'm obviously intending to finish that before my holiday. So if I do feel this is going over, you know, getting overwhelming, or I'd rather do it off stream and do it occasionally, then I probably would do more of the version 1.0. But for now, we'll continue on doing Saturday as SpaceX and version 1 farewell as the Sunday stream. Those, I guess, if you are someone who follows my VODs on YouTube, those VODs I'm going to put, when I go on holiday, I'm going to have them basically all every day, basically. So there'll be one a day while I'm on holiday. And so partly because of the illness, partly because I know things are going to go wonky when Space Age hits in terms of streams, I'm kind of gonna be messing about with the schedule a bit. Also, you know, they obviously don't perform very well compared to the actual Friday Facts videos. I know some people do watch them, so I'm very grateful for that on the VODs. But yeah, there'll be some messing about basically with the schedules. In fact, that'll probably happen by the time this one is one you're viewing on VOD. What else to say? Yes, so back tomorrow with the Factorio version 1 farewell series. Did we get bots? I can't remember whether we actually got bots last time, but that's the goal basically, is bots, and then start to build an actual like science production area and stuff like that using bots. Friday Facts videos, yes, so it went live at 12 o'clock. I am trying to do them as scheduled. I'd actually edited it like within a couple of hours and stuff, because I'm now using DaVinci Resolve. Is that what it's called? Yeah, basically the Adobe rival, and it is so much better than Adobe's rubbish. Basically, it just performs better. The features work. You can understand them, and it's made my editing job so much easier. And I can do like, you know, highlighting circles without an absolutely torturous process. So yeah, I'm really impressed with that as a piece of software, considering it's free. So hopefully the edits will get a bit smoother. And what I am working on is the combat video. So that should be going live hopefully this weekend, but probably next week. Yeah, that's got me doing a bit more editing in it because it's been so much more easy. But yes, every week, if you are new here, if you're not seen any of my streams, you've not encountered me before, I do a read through and analysis and speculation of the Friday Facts videos. Basically, I try to go a bit more in depth. You know, a lot of YouTubers kind of just do a summary version of the Friday Facts, and I go the opposite way, and I talk about it incessantly and way over the top. I'm trying in particular and to kind of guess what's coming up in space age, and what we can find out on the, you know, from the Friday Facts that they post and all that sort of stuff. And they're an enormous amount of fun to do. I really do enjoy them, and people do seem to enjoy watching the videos as well. So if that's anything you might think you might enjoy, then I'd encourage you to check the YouTube channel out. I should also do the YouTuber thing, which is basically to ask you to like and subscribe on those videos, particularly subscribe. They get hundreds, if not thousands, of views, and people watch them. The watch time is like through the roof. But my subscriber count is tiny. It's only like 300 and odd. So, you know, if you're enjoying any of those videos, then do please subscribe, because it really does. It does help, because I can't monetize the channel or anything. You can only monetize when you get to like 500 subscribers. And not that I want the money or anything. It's just, you know, it'd be nice to do like memberships and stuff, and maybe think about doing exclusive stuff that I could also then reuse on Twitch. But you know, there's absolutely no point looking at any of that stuff, because I'm so far off getting subscribers. So yeah, if you're watching these streams because you've seen some of those videos but you're not subscribed, then I would very much appreciate it. It would be a great help. But if you don't want to, sort of thing. It's no pressure. But yeah, it's just a bit amusing that, you know, these things get 2,000 views and then I've got, you know, 300 subscribers. It's a bit disproportionate, really. I think that's everything. So yeah, back tomorrow at 3 o'clock as well. So if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.